All right, so we've talked about melting ice. We've talked a little bit about CO2 being put into the atmosphere. Now let's see what's going on with that. So when we look at global temperatures, uh, and this is all information from either NOAA or NASA, both governmental agencies. Um, they have data here that goes back to 1880s. And this first graph, what you can see is temperature anomalies. So differences between high and low temperatures and averages. And you can think of it as just the average global temperature over time. And what you're seeing is, especially since the maybe 40s or 50s, temperatures have continued to increase. They've gotten warmer and warmer. So we'll talk more about greenhouse gases, like carbon dioxide is one of them, and what's actually happening, why carbon dioxide is good at raising temperatures on planets like Earth. Because it does. The more carbon dioxide you have, the higher temperatures get, and we can see that in our data here. That's been taken, over the last 140 years or so. In this sequence down here, there's an animation that I'm going to start playing. It starts in 1884, and it shows temperature differences. So these are temperature anomalies and how far off they are from what would be considered average. And when it starts in the early 1900s, you see a lot of blue, just meaning that on average, temperatures were a little bit lower. Now we're getting into the 30s, and we see some raised temperatures going into those yellows and oranges. 40s get a little bit higher than normal. Um, and then 50s, maybe a little cooling there, um, cooler than the average. But then from the 50s going into the 60s and 70s, we're going to start to see greater temperature differences, greater anomalies. So all of these years start to get warmer and warmer and warmer. And you can see that in the animation here. As we get into the 90s, starts to get um, into the reds and oranges, all of which indicate higher than average temperatures for a very large period of time. We're talking probably 30 years where we've had these really high anomalous temperatures, directly linked to carbon dioxide and carbon dioxide that we as a society have put into the atmosphere. Um, okay, so this information is on Wikipedia, and the information I'm going to talk about is actually from a NOAA report, so Global Climate Report. Again, NOAA is governmental agency, and it's just showing the warmest years on record. This is globally, warmest years on record from 1880 to 2017. And the hottest year on record in that whole time span, so again, we're talking what, 140 years? The hottest year of all of those was 2016. Second hottest year, 2015. Third hottest year, 2017. And you can look down this list. All of the top 10 are in the 2000s except for number 9. Number 9 is 1998. So almost in the 2000s. These are all the hottest years on record, all with temperatures above what would be considered the average, so they're anomalous. And this fits right along with the other data that we've collected about carbon dioxide and methane and other greenhouse gases.